When I'm in community, people can speak into my life and remind me of who God is and the good things He's done for me and how much He loves me and His promises. And that helps me get out of my head and reorients me to Jesus and to His kingdom, and to the hope that He provides. I'm one of three kids, the youngest of three kids, and by the time I was three, my parents got divorced. So my home life was a little, it's just kind of chaotic, I think. My parents were definitely involved in our lives and our home, but they were, fighting their own demons as parents. And so a lot of the time as a kid, things just felt a little out of control for me at home. And so I often, as a kid, just felt a great longing for more stability and more peace in my home. And then on the outside, I felt this need to really have everything together, and to just present myself in a controlled and put together manner. By the time I got into junior high and middle school, I was really struggling with feeling like I didn't fit in and questioning who I was. Thankfully, the whole time God was pursuing me, and through a friend brought me to church where I had the opportunity to read the Bible, read the book of Galatians, and God just opened my eyes to who Jesus was and what He had done for me. And that changed my life. God's church, really His people, were there providing me with the stability and the peace that I had always longed for. And then I went off to college in Northern Ohio, and again found another church with amazing people that just came alongside me and invested in me and really allowed me to show up and be me. Like, it was in the church and in these relationships with people that I had met in the church, relationships with people that knew Jesus and loved Jesus, that allowed me to just be authentic and let me take down the facade of having it all together. And it was in these relationships that I really learned to be vulnerable and authentic myself. And it was in that process of just opening up and being vulnerable that God has done His deepest work in my life in the context of these relationships, these safe relationships where I felt accepted and understood and seen. And just deep healing has happened. Forgiveness from my parents to my parents for the mistakes that they made, and letting go of a lot of the bitterness and shame that I had over my parents' divorce. So I've always been very involved in a local church, connected with the body of Christ. When we were leaving California and getting ready to make this move to Idaho, that getting involved in a church and being a part of a church community was going to be important. And we bought a house just on the other side of State Street. And I'm like, oh, look, there's a church right at the end of the street. Like, let's go check out that church. Like, I was sitting in service one Sunday morning, and I just had this overwhelming feeling of like, you're home, Karen. And as I've reflected on why I had that feeling, I think it goes back to that, the journey that God has had me on. God's people who have been walking with Him have come alongside me and loved me and supported me and been done life with me. And there's just this genuine feeling of, yeah, like this is life. Let's do life and let's figure out how to love Jesus and love each other better.